Kevin with Gunrow Games. Like the new playmat here that we're going to start showcasing stuff. We got some plans to do more of these type of videos where I'll just talk behind the screen instead of going around the store rambling. I'll ramble here instead. And I wanted to talk about this little jam we got going on and kind of the topic that, man, right now is such a terrible time in one aspect of prices of both singles and sealed of the Magic market crashing, and Pokemon's no better, and I'm actually foreseeing a Lorcana crash. I'm the first one to predict it here. I actually think their supply is good now on Floodborne with the amount of stuff that's gone through the mass box stores as well as their own website. It is now coming down to around MSRP price. Now, of course, a product should be at MSRP price when, I mean, you should be able to justify buying it at Target or Walmart rather than, we've been so conditioned with Pokemon and Magic now that you get everything at basically distributor price, or otherwise it's a ripoff, and you have to, cry foul to your local game store that they're charging you. They're ripping you off with all their stuff. But anyway, I digress. What was I talking about here? Oh yeah, so now is a great time to get into Magic the Gathering if you just want to play a lot of products that didn't do well, and these are actually quite fun. And the sad thing that I'm having with Magic the Gathering, I think, is they've knocked it out of the park with limited. So Construct is still weird. There's a great video that I need to link the dude that I just watched the video, and he talked about how design is still so flawed because they just can't get tempo right in Magic the Gathering with Constructed, meaning that like it's snowballing. When people start to get a lead, there's no coming back from it, and the only way to stop that is to print cards that just basically throw a haymaker and then swing that lead back and basically finish the game. And then that creates kind of a weird gameplay to where now you have to play these big haymakers versus haymakers rather than tempo. And so, I don't know. It's in a weird spot with Magic the Gathering as far as Constructed is concerned. It's a weird spot as far as Commander is concerned with the oversaturation of products and just, and same with the collectibles. Like in all of those aspects, Magic the Gathering has just been struggling because they've printed too many products. They've tried to get people excited about too many things. And at that point, it's just noise, and everyone's so distracted that no one can get on the same page of like, what is Magic and how should we play Magic? And it's created kind of a miserable environment as far as, people just kind of trying to figure out what's going on right now in the Magic the Gathering scene. What used to be really cool about Magic the Gathering is the latest set was just this big hoorah, big showcase of tournaments and people building decks and brewing decks, and they'd have Grand Prix and they'd have Magic Fest and they have all these things, store championships, all of these things with lots of marketing materials of the storyline and everyone experiencing the new set. And now with all the distractions of things like Fallout coming out and Doctor Who and all these other stuff, like no one knows what's going on. Lord of the Rings is going to reprint. What are we doing? Oh, their scene boxes just came out. It's just so overwhelming that I think that the beauty of Limited has just been buried in all of the noise. But with that said, it has created an amazing environment to where Limited is super, super cheap. If you can get other game stores online with this, or if you just want to start your own play groups and get people that want to play Limited, I mean, that's kind of the way like that Magic, I think, is best played right now, is kind of like pickup games of like-minded people that do want to experience the beautiful mechanics in Limited and do want to play Magic at this unprecedented time where you can play Limited for insanely cheap. So what I have before you is a March of the Machines pre-release kit. We have done this we've done it 3 times now, $5 drafts. So, and these aren't just drafts, these are what's called the Dino-Sized event. So what Magic the Gathering is doing right now is they're trying to promote an event that I've been very critical of because the marketing material is terrible, the expectations of this event, they haven't given stores any sort of direction, they haven't given good price support, they haven't really done anything. It's just been so half-assed. I've done a video on it where, they even take this cookie cutter little thumbnail and try to promote this event, and it just doesn't even really fit with the theme of a Dino-Sized event. And it's just head scratching. Like some intern put this together and took them 15 minutes to try to do these events that are supposed to be going on all December long at your local game store. So in short, the Dino-Sized event is supposed to be a 4-pack instead of 3-pack draft. And you can use anything from standard, is what they encourage people to do. And to support that, Wizard of the Coast sold cheaper draft boosters to distributors. So you can actually get most booster boxes in standard now for about $80. And right there, that's pretty cheap. You can do drafts at $80 if you have 36 per pack. You can get drafts down to like $6, $7 if stores just want to give out promos that they're given from Wizards of the Coast to support the price support. Or there's ways in the past what we've done is, people open up everything and then you rare draft at the very end. Like, I don't like that because it's kind of a feel bad scenario. If you do open up like a Ragavan, you have to, give it back at the end of the draft. So what we just do is we just play for the promos in the March of the Machines pre-release packs. So I've been opening these up to do the $5 drafts. So here at Gonor Games, all through December, we are doing the March of the Machine Dino-Sized drafts for $5, and I don't mind it. I make like 30 cents off everybody. I think it's because I got it down to $1.16 a pack is how much I got these for. So unfortunately, I can't, like, if stores are wanting to get in on this or playgroups are wanting to get in on this, I can't offer this type of pricing right now to like patrons or people that order from me because I can no longer get March Machines pre-release kits for this price. They're a little bit more expensive. I still think I can get them down to about $1.50 a pack, but I can't get them down to about $1.16 a pack, which is what we're doing. So if you do $1.16 times 4, you're under $5. And what's cool about these is that's not including the promos in here. So I'm just going to crack like a March Machines pre-release kit and show people kind of what they get. And again, we only use 4 packs out of these, so you only need a few kits to do this. But I also encourage people, like right now, even you can do Wildsville Drain for $80 a booster box. Gets it down to, very cheap. And again, this used to be, maybe I'm just such a boomer. This used to be so fun with Magic. I remember paying $15 draft clear back in the day, and that seemed okay because if that was full price support at that point, like pack per win. And you can easily do that. If you are looking to start a play group or a store, I want to highly encourage people to actually run events at cost because it really helps the pool of cards within your community, and it gets people in and playing and enjoying the game and feeling like they had a good experience and they had a good bang for the buck. Now, again, you'll see me whining about like prices not being able to make good margins on a lot of products. I have the exception for a lot of these type of things, like these type of events, because I think these are great, what we call loss leaders, to get people in and playing and enjoying kind of the scene. And also, this is a way for us to get back to the gathering of Magic the Gathering. What I've seen in the past few years, especially within the past year, is this transition towards people just kind of collecting and playing at home and what I call dabbling in Magic the Gathering. I think it's a massive warning sign in the future of the longevity of this game. If people get bored of that eventually. If it's just collectors, I mean, collectability is a dime a dozen. There's billions of things that are going to distract people coming out every few months. I mean, there's a brand new Star Wars CCG that came out. There's a brand new Game of Thrones CCG that just came out. There's a brand new Marvel anime collectible trading card. It's not a game that just came out. There is Lorcana. There is like, these things are going to continue to come. So the future of Magic is just to do what they do best and create the best game with the best experience with the Gathering. They are just miles ahead of Lorcana and Pokemon and all these other games as far as experience is concerned and what they've got going. So I wish they'd focus more on this type of stuff and promote this sort of stuff rather than going to what I call like the clickbait or what people have rightly called the Funko Pops of the trading card game world now, with the going after Fallout and going after Walking Dead and all this other crap that is just collectible. It's not really that playable in the scope of things. So anyway, March Machine drafts are actually, I had no clue, and this is the problem too. Every set that used to come out, I would draft like 4, 5, 6, 7 times. No, the thing with March Machines is I skipped this on Arena, so I used to get my fill if I couldn't get locals to play here. I'd get my fill in like Magic Online or Magic Arena, but I've been so ticked at Magic on Arena especially. I booted it back up and they still don't have a report button for stallers and just miserable people to play against. Why not? It still is just like this super, it feels like an old clunky app compared to things that come out. They still haven't created something like a compendium that like Dota and all these other games do. Like, how fun would it be if they created a scenario where you had to win with City on Fire? It's like get City on Fire to convoke out damage to do enough damage in a turn or something like that. Like, they do these like scenarios for brew round cards. So play this card, win with this card, and then you win an achievement, you win a promo. That's what they do on Dota. Like, in fact, Dota's talking about games that have really gone backwards rather than forwards. They used to do that to try to shake up the meta, is they'd give these little scenarios of like, okay, play outside your comfort zone. Try to play this character in this unique way. Let's see if we can get people to actually experiment with this. And it's funny because sometimes it led to like people actually, figuring out new ways to play it. And I think that that's what we're struggling with again in Magic the Gathering is now, we are in this culture of like, especially Arena really, really pours like fuel on this dumpster fire when all mythics are created equal. What I mean that is every mythic and every rare on Magic Arena still requires the same redemption cost of like those little tickets, or those little, whatever they call them, wild cards, to grab those specific stuff. And so you can't even like brew cheaper with these off the beaten path ones. So the only way that they could get people to kind of brew outside the box and not play tier decks is to give these like scenarios to possibly win things or get new skins or rewards by playing outside the box. And I think Wizards of the Coast has just failed with Arena. So anyway, I've rambled like crazy in this video without getting to the point of the video. Welcome to my channel and who I am. But I didn't really play a lot of March Machines, which I was so surprised when the only reason we did this is because I got these at so super cheap that I'm like, hey guys, let's have some fun with these. We'll draft I couldn't get people to draft. No one would want to draft. I don't want to draft. I don't want to draft. How about for $5? We would draft for $5. That's it. Like, you can't lose on this. You cannot lose by opening up 4 packs and not getting $5 worth of packs out of these March Machines. Like, it's very statistically improbable. You just have to pull a couple cards that are over that price tag. And what I've noticed about the set is it's actually going up in value, and which is a good sign overall for Magic. It means singles are selling. It means the whole economy of Magic is starting to uptick. Unfortunately, Wizards of the Coast still has a lot to do to alleviate kind of the supply that's out there that's really just oversaturated at this moment, that's just flooded the market. And I need to do a video. I will be doing a video on another channel about Shieldred does not need a reprint. We need people to actually open Dominaria United. The problem with $80 Shieldred is not that the supply is low, it's the supply is still just bottled up in all of these packs that are unopened because Dominaria was sandwiched in between just better products and no one opened it. And even an $80 Shieldred is not attractive enough for people to open up Dominaria. What they need to do is they need to re-promote it or do events or something, and would be a way to get Shieldred in. Unfortunately, what I'm assuming is going to happen is Wizards are just going to use Shieldred in some opportune time to try to sell a booster box in the future. But the market is starting to become very resilient to that sort of strategy of reprint sell sets. Now what we're seeing is new cards sell sets. So Wizards of the Coast has a lot of hurdles they need to overcome that they have caused, that they built for themselves. But yeah, anyway, Shieldred, it does not need to reprint. People just need to open up Dominaria, and this would be a great way. Same thing with Ragavan. Ragavan, I've opened up none. I opened up 75 packs trying to find a Ragavan, and then my customer opens up the very first pack in the draft and opens a Ragavan. I am cursed to find that monkey. Anyway, yeah, so I was very surprised at how mechanically sound March Machines is, how fun it is, and especially with 4 packs. Like 3 packs gets a little wonky because you don't quite get enough stuff to really go these crazy like 5-color decks and stuff. You don't get a lot of these kind of the glue that solidifies the decks together. But out of the drafts we've done, Zach has drafted some really cool decks. All the people I played against drafted some really cool decks, Incubates and Knights and whatnot. I've gone kind of just like 5-color good stuff both times. But you get into some scenarios where you have some really cool interactions, really cool decisions to be made. And I'm actually really liking the Dino-Sized drafts with going left, right. That way you have, you're getting enough stuff coming from the left, you're getting enough stuff coming right, for you know that you can actually stay in specific colors without really being cut out, because you can cut going right and then get left and vice versa. And it kind of, it leads a whole nother complexity to the draft system. They do take a little bit longer to draft, and there's a lot of analysis paralysis with 4 packs rather than 3 packs of people like, especially the first couple packs being like, well, I can just pick bombs right now and then I can wait for the last 2 packs. Anyway, it's fun though. It's been fun to try to figure it out. We've got a great group of guys that are drafting right now, and it's really revitalized my desire to play Magic the Gathering. And I've been looking at these cards, I'm like, man, this would be a fun little standard brew card to kind of mess around with. And that's what Magic the Gathering needs. I don't think that I'm necessarily the biggest negative Nancy ever, that just that I think that it's not hard to get someone like me excited. And if I haven't been excited, that I've been with this game forever, since, revised, then is that really on me, or is that on Wizards of the Coast just really failing to captivate its core audience, or people who have been there forever? But anyway, March Machines was incredibly fun to draft these couple times, and there have been some awesome interactions. And the cool thing about March Machines too is you do get these promo cards, like right here too. Like, again, this is like, if you were to do a draft right now, we have City on Fire. I don't think Goro Goro is worth anything. There's Arena code if anyone wants to redeem that Arena code. There you have it. But I mean, there are a lot of cards that are like $2-3 in this set. I think City on Fire is one of them. And a lot of these cards are going up in value because Machines Machines was another product that was just absolutely dismal and was not opened because it was sandwiched in between so many different better things that were coming out, especially like Lord of the Rings. That was that time period when it was coming out. So anyway, this is what I ended up picking up out of 4 packs last night for $5 with the Machines Machines. And again, this isn't even talking about the gameplay experience, which I think was worth $5 anyway. I mean, it's $5. You can't even get a sandwich now at a restaurant now for $5. You can't go to Subway for $5 anymore, right? I mean, that's long gone, the $5 foot long. But anyway, so there's my little plug for a restaurant, right? I haven't eaten there forever. Anyway, so Jin-Kataxis, this one's I want to do a video about this because these Multiverse Legends, they have all lost so much of their value within the past reprintings of this, because it's got like a secret layer printing, a list printing, and a Multiverse Legend. This is a $4 card now, which is crazy that Jin-Kataxis has gone all the way down to $4. And a lot of it's power creep too. It's not as powerful as it used to be in Commander. The Ozolith, this is like an $8 card. And this I didn't end up using. This was an early pick, and then I just didn't decide to go the backup strategy or the +1 counter strategy. The Knight Errant of Eos sees a 4 of. I think I'm a little oversaturated here. I apologize for the lighting. I didn't fix the lighting here before I started this video. The Knight Errant of Eos is another card that sees a lot of play in Pioneer, and which I think will go up in value. You do get these like promos. I don't know how well they're going to age long term. And we also do have the pre-release promo that and a Slimefoot of Squee, which is actually a popular commander. So right there I actually got my value just from cards that I didn't even use. And then you get some really cool things in these drafts with 4 packs. I was able to actually use Lutri as a companion because none of my cards in here had duplicate names. So I typically love to go 5-color Invasion of Alara if it's out there. And usually the 4-pack draft, there's invasions going around. There's enough packs out there that you're going to see every rare. And, you know, people are going to pick up the other rares, but invasion is very specific. And so it's going to go around the table. And typically you can pick these guys up. So I like to go 5-color invasions when possible. There's fun things like Nahiri's Warcrafting and hit battles. The Wrinkle of Torbran. The Pile-On with the Convoke strategy. I got a Rampaging Raptor. You can believe this card's 50 cents. This card's so good. It's a questing beast on a dinosaur. The Captain Luminary Storm, the Hitsugu and carries. I just want a pile of 5-color good stuff, mainly 3 colors, but with the battle kind of strategy here. But I've just been very, very surprised at the kind of intricacies and decision making that is in March of the Machines, and it's been incredibly fun. And so I'm going to try to keep my eye open for other products that do go on sale. And hopefully we'll get this out earlier and help, especially if you're patrons that run play groups. Like I highly encourage you, if you have a play group, sign up for our Patreon. This is what I like doing it for. I want to get Magic the Gathering as accessible as possible to people that actually play the game. Let all the other scrubs, let all the collectors, let all the clickbait buyers, let them pay full price for Magic and subsidize our hobby. Those of you who actually want to play the game, I want to help you out to be able to experience especially limited for as cheap as possible. So again, if I ever come across like some sweet deals, I'll try to do this and try to showcase what we're doing to try to promote that event, because there could be some other cool. I'd like to get your thoughts on other formats you might run. Like we love League here, where you start off with a few packs and build. You know, each week you keep building onto it. Like those are always fun. But I'd like to hear your inputs on like how best do you enjoy this incredibly cheap time to be in Magic the Gathering. Is it drafting? Is it, you know, sealed? But it's pretty crazy. And again, no one didn't get their money back on like I was thinking, okay, who got the worst pulls? And it's like, okay, I got a $6 card. Because so I mean, Ozolith was my highest value card. So there's, you know, $7-8 right there. And then I had a bunch of other stuff that, you know, valued up. And everyone else, like, you know, we had a Tally, we had Ragavan, we had a sword. I'm not sure if the sword's worth anything. We had Vorinclex, we had Elish Norn, we had Sheoldred pulled in there. You know, not the expensive. I mean, just the ones that are out of the March Machines. But yeah, it's still a pretty good set, and it's crazy that the sealed. I mean, I do a channel called The Rogue Market where I used to look at a lot of things like what we call arbitrage, where you could actually open up sealed product, and if you want to put in the kind of elbow grease, you could crack it and actually make back your money. It's called expected value out of a sealed product. And whenever expected value gets above about 17 to 20%, then it's viable, because then after fees and labor, you're still up. And if you do it at a mass scale, or even if you're just trying to do it to subsidize your hobby, speaking of Dominaria, which I'll be doing a video of for this one, maybe you're looking for Shieldreds, and it's like, okay, well, I could buy a Shieldred for $80, or I could go this for $115 and buy a collector's booster. Yes, it's $115 for Dominion United. These were all the way down to $90 at one point on Amazon dumps, but I digress with that. But okay, I'll just open these up, keep the Shieldred, because you have a very, very high chance of actually opening up a Dominaria or a Shieldred in the collector's booster. So keep the Shieldred and sell everything else out and see what you come out with. And you pretty much will probably come out ahead with even keeping the Shieldred, which is crazy at this point in time. I've never seen prices this low and this competitive for sealed product, comparatively speaking to singles, which singles too have had just a nosedive in price. So it's cheaper all across the board to play Magic the Gathering. So I'm interested how you guys are actually capitalizing on the cheap Magic. There are some great signs for Magic the Gathering with sales over the last couple of months. I think that Magic is actually more robust than we think, with the amount of like horribly failed sealed product that's on the market. And I think it goes to show Magic's still good. They have it's nothing that can't be fixed by Wizards of the Coast. There are a couple of things that really concern me. One is the aging demographic. That does concern me a lot, because if we're not getting young blood into Magic, then there's only a certain amount of time the aging millennials are going to be able to keep this game afloat. And B, Wizards of the Coast is just incompetent. And they just keep showing their incompetency. But it just shows the strength of the Magic the Gathering, that through all the mistakes, all the issues, all the blindsidedness, blindsightedness, is that a word? Is that what I'm trying to portray here? With Wizards of the Coast, that this game still keeps chugging along and actually is still doing quite well. So there are things to be excited about. There are things to be, encouraging. And now I'm just getting repetitive here, so I'm just going to end the video. Anyway, we'll get back to the regular me just point and shooting and talking about the shop in future videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Kevin with Gonro Games. Thanks for watching.